Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! We are here in the Lord Chief Justice's office because we want to meet Susato-san, and she was summoned here by the Lord Chief Justice, and we want to know what happened. In the last episode, we met Gina in the prison, but she didn't want us to represent her. Also, we had a little dip into the pawnbrokery, but Inspector Gregson wouldn't have us investigate the scene because we don't have representation for Gina yet. So we are here now, not stuck yet, but it might happen pretty soon. So without further ado, let's see what happens in the Lord Chief Justice's office. Yes, no matter how many times I've come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at the suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe it thinks the same about you.
So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust?
Yes, thank you very much. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good, there is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland.
Wait, what did he just say? You return to your homeland? Susato-san!
Mr. Naruhodo.
What was all that about?
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague.
What's this all about? Why were you talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow?
Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial? You mean? She's been formally charged now? Oh dear.
Well, that is a shocker. But we knew that something like that might happen, so...
Oh, I've always dreamed of sitting at a huge desk like that and looking important.
Sorry, I have to examine first because I want to have all the achievements and see all the dialogue. Why don't you try it then, discreetly of course?
Alright, I will. Tell me how I look. Well, Runo, what do you think?
A little too discreet. I can't even see you. Alright, so let's have a look at these.
I love clocks and the mechanisms, don't you? The way all the hundreds of pieces are fit together and work as one to move at the hands of a single timepiece.
Yes, I can imagine clocks are just your cup of tea.
When I was little, I used to dream of one day living inside a clock, you know.
When you must be envious of the Lord Chief Justice having his office in a place like this, I suppose.
No, not really.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's a dream for when you're little. It'd be silly now.
Don't let Lord Strongheart hear you talking like that. Okay, we'll have a look at the armor. Those giant suits of armor are still facing each other menacingly across the room.
Just can't understand why anyone would wear things like that in battle. They must be so heavy.
I expect you'd invent some special lightweight suit if it was down to you, wouldn't you, Iris?
I think it was me. I'd invent a world where people didn't need fire to each other in the first place.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. Iris, you're a champ. Yes, you are a champion indeed.
Well, what do you think? That was a model answer, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, but she's 10 your nose, 10. And she's leading you around by the nose. Yeah, she is, but I like that answer, so that's fine.
Oh my goodness, just look at all these books.
Yes, there are books about the judicial system of all the different Western nations.
Even for someone like me, it would take at least 10 days to read all of these.
Just 10 days?
Oh, I was only joking, Runo. I thought it would be fun to play up my genies.
It's scarily believable with you, that's the trouble. Yeah, I believed her at once. That is true. Alright, so what happens if we have a look around here? So nothing else left, it seems. So there's nothing left here. So that means we're gonna come back here at some point, and there's someone to stand here. And someone is going to stand right here, and we'll have to click them to talk to them. But right now, we are just going to talk to Susato-san. But first of all, I'm gonna present her my armband, of course.
It means a great deal to me, you know. That you cherish his armband so.
Yeah, okay, so, okay, we already have that because I can skip it. So I'm gonna skip it. But she didn't see that yet. So, about this.
Wait, I must have more time to examine it thoroughly.
Really, there's no need. If it's not relevant to at the moment, you can just say so. Susato-san takes everything so seriously. Okay, so nothing to talk about there. So let's finally start conversing with her about the returning to her homeland, unfortunately. Miss Susato, what's all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruto. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as...
That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no!
Professor Mikotoba? If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Yeah, we met him in the very first case, and he's a cool guy, so being ill is not cool.
We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day.
I don't believe it.
As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Mrs. Susato's departure as much as possible.
Yes, absolutely.
I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
I can't believe this is happening. No, don't leave! But, yeah, you have to tend your father. Alright, so let's talk about Gina's trial then.
So Gina has been charged. She'll have to appear in court?
Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No, not even 24 hours later?
Gina? Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too transpicious case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, Lord Strongheart?
In defense of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office.
Leave, now!
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all the untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend.
Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday?
Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. "3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me."
There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart.
Which is?
It's Miss Lestrange's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her.
A timely suggestion.
Sorry?
The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork and the defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right.
Why would you do that? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. Okay, we got a little bit ahead of ourselves. We already went to prison. You'll find her at the local prison. Yeah, we know. We already went there. Yes, thank you.
Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you.
What a day. Gina charged with murder. Susato-san about to leave.
Come, Mr. Naruto, Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie! You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have a packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Miss Susato. That's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go!
If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can as a lawyer. Well, we're going to go to prison immediately then. We're not gonna go past go. Just go straight to prison and talk with Gina again. 16th April, local prison, cell 13. Ah! Hello again, Gina.
What are you lot here for now?
To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in my face yet again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look! You can't come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Farewell? Tomorrow, I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie! Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruto believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What if it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, huh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruto and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't.
Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Miss Magnus McGildas was acquitted.
Oh,
The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about?
yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe.
Will you tell us about it now? Well, if she's gonna tell us, we are going to ask her, of course. The trial 2 months ago.
Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand.
And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilda was declared innocent.
Yeah, well, thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff.
I knew it.
What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing, and then I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor.
And that's when Mr. McGilda discovered you.
Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and set me next to the dead man. There weren't much light to see, but when I looked at me hands, I had those cove's blood all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak.
So you had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight.
Then Mr. McGilda started asking you questions, I suppose.
Who you were and why you were hiding under that seat.
Yeah, he did, only that's not all.
What do you mean?
I mean, it threatened me.
Threatened you? How?
It made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was gonna do after the cove was found dead. It made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me escape before the coppers showed up.
Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Oh, okay, let's go. You said McGilden made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw, but you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, with Mr. McGilda sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting on the floor. I let out a little scream, you see. Couldn't help it. Mr. McGilda heard that and dragged me out by my arm, and that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old cheese I watched and had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc?
Do you mean...
Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Windy Banks.
So the music box disc was there, on the floor of the omnibus.
Not for long, McGill spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it in his inside pocket.
So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me. I weren't to mutter a word of it to no one. What you heard? Because it was so dark on the seat in the cab, I was straining my ears to the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilded getting on board. No, not only him. Oh. Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people.
In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim.
Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason.
In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride.
But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
And your own testimony, Gina, supported his.
All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of those horses and the wheels was too loud.
But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other.
So McGilded was lying as I suspected. What happened after the event, Gina? I knew it weren't gonna take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed.
Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly.
So when the cab came to stop, McGilded told me to hide back on the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The 2 cops from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right, and after that gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favor. A favor?
Now then, fella, what I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas.
A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Windybanks. The coach snapped down the money and ran off to pop this coat as fast as could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. Mr. McGilded... I'm always saying Mr. McGilded, but it's just McGilded. McGilded opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions.
I see.
McGilded's conditions. What were McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul, not for anything, about what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more? Yeah, this is the most important thing, he said.
I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all?
You asked him to go pop your weasel, right?
Aye. The fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want your lass to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand?
What? You want me to have the ticket?
That's right, and I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then. Is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it.
Alright then.
And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, Windy Banks, so it is, and you're to extend the loan for the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited, and any old fiend could come along and pay.
But I ain't got that kind of brass.
Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other less? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me,
Yeah, I get it.
good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt.
The coppers?
Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that. Shall we? What is it that you might say? And what is it you won't?
After I'd gone over it all, I parked it. Got as far away from there as I could. It hit the pawnbroks taking some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark.
Some begilded planned it and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. Well, that's something.
I bet you're ready to string me up, huh? I lied in that big old courtroom. I told some crockers. The thing is, it said it would make it so we couldn't live in the East and no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man! He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean Mr. McGilder would have... I'm an heartbeat. He could have had the lot of us chased out of there if he'd wanted. And then where could we have gone, huh? Nowhere, that's where. So I didn't have no choice.
Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything.
But I'm for it now, huh? Come on, admit it. You must believe it.
Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor.
A favor, what?
Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial.
Huh?
If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us.
Investigate what?
The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see.
You what? Early's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right?
That's why I want to investigate. For Mr. Sholmes' sake, as much as anything.
Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy. Is that it?
Something like that. Miss Susato?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely.
Gina's representation papers have been entered in the court record. The paperwork signed by Gina to put me in charge of her defense. Showing this to Scotland Yard detectives gains us access to the crime scene. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windybanks now.
Yes, and perhaps we can come back with Ginny when we're done there.
I feel like we've finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Windybanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Well, guys, that was a hell of a ride. Oh, sorry, I just cursed. That was a heck of a ride. So, we finally got the paperwork and we're going to investigate Windybanks in the next episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So tune in next time. Bye-bye.